Hi there, this is Chris, the chap in the cap from Motolegends, here today to talk to you about a boot from French brand Helstons. It's called the City boot. So this is the City boot from French brand Helstons. Helstons is a super stylish company, not particularly well known over here, big in France, massive in Paris, well known in the other European capitals. They make the kind of gear that a lot of city commuters would wear. So you would wear a boot like this, you'd go into work on your scooter, you'd have one of those longer jackets on that doesn't look like a bike jacket, you get off the bike, walk into work, you don't look as though you've come in on a bike, you take your jacket off, you'd wear these boots all day. But there's no trade-off in terms of protection. This is a proper, really strong, really well-made biking boot. Let's just talk through it. The outer leather, the chassis as it were, is a calfskin. It's lightly oiled. Now, I say lightly because when you heavily oil a leather or grease a leather, you make it difficult to put a polish on. That's not the case with this boot, because this is intended to be the kind of boot that if you're going to wear it to work under a suit or a pair of chinos, then you want to be able to polish it. So this is going to polish up, it'll take whatever shine you want to give to it. In terms of waterproofing, it is a fully waterproof boot. Not every boot in the Helstons range is. This one is. The waterproof membrane is sandwiched between the outer chassis and a calfskin lining, so it's also a very comfortable boot. Now, a short boot is never going to be quite as waterproof as a tall boot, because what happens is water, as you're riding along, is going to hit the ground. There is a possibility that water can come over the top and inside the boot. So a short waterproof boot, there still exists the possibility of some water ingress. Doesn't mean the boot is leaking, it just means that it's come over the top. That's something you just have to live with if you decide you want to ride in a shorter boot. It has a zip to get in and out of, but the problem when you have a properly waterproof boot is that you'll have a gusset. So the zip doesn't allow the boot to open fully. It's a reasonable gusset here, but it'll only open that far. What that means is you can't necessarily guarantee that this is a boot that you can get in and out of just using the zip. Now, we've found that a lot of clients over time, as the boot loosens up and relaxes, they have managed to find a means of doing so, and that might mean just finding a tension that works for them on the laces. But initially, you won't necessarily be able to get into this boot just with the zip. To make things a little bit easier, if you do have to use the laces and the zip combined, these top two eyelets are speed laces. In terms of an item of protective wear, it's a really strong boot. Helstons make a big deal of the fact that these boots are made in Europe. That doesn't always mean a huge deal to us, whether something's made in Vietnam or China. As long as the right materials are being used, as long as the methods of construction are controlled, then it doesn't bother us too much. But the manufacturers think it's a big deal. These boots are actually made in Portugal. Portugal is well known for its boot making. They do make some fabulous boots. It has a very strong counter in the toe, and it's a counter that comes back much further than it does on many Helstons boots. On some of their boots, it's just around this front bit here, and then you have a leather gear change pad. I think because this boot does not have a gear change pad, because they wanted this to be a boot that didn't look like a bike boot at all, they brought the counter back. So that means that if you are changing gear a lot, that's not going to cause your toes to get sore. Will the gear change mark the leather? Well, not if it's looked after. It's just a piece of rubber. So if this is kept fairly moist and you are creaming it and polishing it, I don't think that that is going to be an issue. Further, in terms of protection, we've got soft protectors here in the ankle. Feels like D3O. Technically, it's not D3O, but it's super comfy. And you've got a really strong protector in the heel as well. In terms of fit, what I think I would say is that we have found that historically these boots are not the widest. They used to have, Helstons boots always had a very narrow fit, and they widened them a couple of years ago, but that still doesn't make them wide in our view. The fit is not like a Daytona. If you've got a wide foot, a really wide foot, this isn't the boot for you, but if you've got a medium or narrow foot, then I think it's going to work well. You just need to be aware. The best thing, of course, is to try a pair on, but if you do order a pair online, you need to put them on and just try them, because even though this is going to give, it's a fit that just doesn't suit everybody. In terms of a sole, you've got a fairly rugged, oil-resistant, anti-slip sole. It's not a Vibram sole or it's not a Commando sole, but it looks as though it is. It is going to be replaceable. It's not a stitch sole, so this is not a Goodyear welted boot, but you can replace that with a stick-on sole. As you can see, it comes in brown as well. I just think it's a very smart boot for those who want to go into the office and probably wear all day the same boot they rode in wearing, and they just don't want to look like a biker. So that's it. It's called the City Boot and it's priced at £219. So if you'd like to see more Helstons boots, visit the website motolegends.com. If you'd like to learn more about this particular boot, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on our website. There you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check out availability, and of course if you really like the boot you can buy one there and then. Now when you buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on anything you buy from us, returns are also free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something. We have the best price guarantee in the business. John Lewis is rightly famed for its never knowingly undersold price promise. We go one stage better. If you can find anyone who sells anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that price by a full 10%. Now, if the retailer is in the EU and not the UK, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. Now in future, if you'd like to receive email bulletins from us about new products, then if you go to the website at the top of every page, there's a little piece of script that says newsletter sign up. Click on there, within seconds you'll be in business, you'll receive bulletins from us in future. If however you prefer to get your information in this form, that is to say videographically, we would be delighted if you want to become a subscriber to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Now this is 2020 and during 2020 we are running a promotion. At the end of the year we are going to give away a motorbike to somebody who is a subscriber to our channel. The bike is what we are calling a Steve McQueen tribute bike. It's based on a Mutz 125cc machine. It's a lovely little bike, it's a real cutie. You can read about it on the front page of our website or on the home page of our YouTube channel. But you have to become a subscriber. We'll be pulling the draw just before Christmas. Finally, I'd like to make a little play for our fabulous shop here at Motolegends. We are based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. The footprint of the shop itself is small, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of merchandise arranged over 3 floors. Technically, that makes us the second largest motorcycle shop in the country. But we think we are far more than just the amount of merchandise we have here in the building. We're about the service and we're about personal fitting. If you want to check us out, visit Trustpilot. We have the highest 5-star ranking in the business. When you come and see us, we'll sit down, we will serve you the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper teapot. If you're lucky, you might even get to taste one of Sean's mum's delicious motorcycle-shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris. I hope to talk to you again soon.